My husband's sister-in-law became obsessed with our adopted child and tried to take her from us because she believed the child was actually hers. I, 32F, have been married to my husband Timothy, 34M, for 6 years now. We met in college during our final year when we were paired up for a group project in our business ethics class. At first, we didn't get along well. Timothy was always the laid-back procrastinator while I was the stressed-out perfectionist. But as we spent more time together, we realized we balanced each other out perfectly. After graduation, we started dating and got married 2 years later. Timothy comes from a close-knit family. His parents, Robert, 62M, and Elizabeth, 60F, are warm and loving people who welcomed me into their family from day one. They've always been supportive of our relationship, even when we decided to move to a different state for our careers. Timothy has an older brother, Mark, 36M, who's been married to his high school sweetheart Lisa, 35F, for 8 years. Mark and Lisa have always been the golden couple of the family. They got married young, bought a beautiful house in the suburbs, and seemed to have the perfect life. The only thing missing was a child. They've been trying to conceive for the past 5 years but haven't been successful. It's been a source of stress and sadness for them, especially Lisa, who's always dreamed of being a mother. Timothy and I, on the other hand, weren't sure if we wanted kids at first. We were both focused on our careers. I'm a marketing executive and Timothy is a software engineer. We enjoyed our freedom, traveling often and spending weekends trying out new restaurants or going on hiking trips. But as we approached our 30s, we started to feel like something was missing. After much discussion, we decided to look into adoption. We knew it would be a long and potentially difficult process, but we were excited about the possibility of giving a child a loving home. We spent months researching agencies, attending information sessions, and preparing our home for a potential child. 2 years ago, we got the call that changed our lives forever. A baby girl had been born and was in need of a home. We rushed to the hospital, our hearts pounding with excitement and nervousness. The moment we saw little Lily, we fell in love. She was tiny, with a tuft of dark hair and big brown eyes. As I held her for the first time, I knew that this was meant to be. The adoption process was finalized a few months later, and we officially became a family of 3. Lily, now 3F, has been the light of our lives ever since. She's grown into a spirited, curious toddler who loves to sing, dance, and ask why? About everything. At first, our entire family was thrilled about Lily's arrival. Timothy's parents doted on their first grandchild, showering her with gifts and attention. Mark and Lisa seemed happy for us too, often visiting to spend time with Lily. Lisa, in particular, seemed to adore Lily, always wanting to hold her and play with her. Looking back, I should have noticed the signs earlier. Lisa's interest in Lily seemed to go beyond normal aunt behavior. She would call frequently, asking for updates and photos. When they visited, Lisa would monopolize Lily's attention, often pushing me aside to feed or comfort her. I brushed it off as enthusiasm, thinking Lisa was just excited to have a baby in the family. About 6 months ago, things started to change more noticeably. Lisa began to visit more frequently, often without Mark. She would bring Lily clothes and toys, insisting that she knew exactly what Lily liked best. She started making comments about how Lily looked more like her than me, or how she wished she could take Lily home. One day, Lisa arrived unannounced while I was getting Lily ready for her nap. She insisted on taking over, saying, "Oh, let me do it. I know just how she likes to be put down." I felt a flash of irritation but let her do it to avoid an argument. As she was tucking Lily in, she said softly, "Mommy loves you so much." I felt the chill run down my spine. She wasn't Lily's mommy, I was. I tried to talk to Timothy about my concerns, but he thought I was overreacting. "Lisa's just being a doting aunt," he said. "She loves Lily, isn't that a good thing?" I wanted to believe him, but something felt off. Things came to a head last month when Lisa asked if she could take Lily for a weekend getaway. I politely declined, explaining that Lily was still too young for overnight trips without us. Lisa got upset and accused me of not trusting her. "I'm family," she said, her voice rising. "I would never hurt Lily. In fact, I probably know her better than you do at this point." She left in a huff, and I didn't hear from her for a week. During that week, I noticed some strange things happening. I could swear I saw Lisa's car parked down the street a few times, but it would be gone when I looked again. One day, I found Lily's favorite stuffed animal missing, only for it to reappear in her crib the next morning. I started to feel paranoid, constantly checking the locks and keeping Lily close. Last week, my worst fears came true. I got a call from my neighbor, Mrs. Johnson, while I was at work. She told me that she had seen Lisa trying to take Lily from our backyard while our babysitter was distracted. The babysitter had stepped inside for a moment to answer the phone, and Lisa had apparently been waiting for an opportunity. Mrs. Johnson said she saw Lisa pick up Lily and start walking quickly towards a car parked on the street. When the babysitter came back out and called for Lily, Lisa put her down and quickly drove away. The babysitter, unaware of what had almost happened, thought Lily had just wandered to the front yard. I was in shock. I immediately called Timothy and the police. By the time they arrived, Lisa was long gone, but the babysitter confirmed Mrs. Johnson's story. She said Lisa had told her she was there to pick up Lily for a surprise outing, but the babysitter knew we hadn't authorized it. We filed a police report, but since Lily wasn't actually taken, they said there wasn't much they could do beyond issuing a warning. Timothy and I were furious and terrified. We couldn't believe Mark's wife had tried to take our daughter. Timothy confronted Mark, who seemed genuinely shocked and horrified. He swore he had no idea Lisa was planning this and promised to talk to her. We haven't heard from either of them since. Now, we're looking into getting a restraining order against Lisa. Timothy's parents are devastated and torn between their two sons. They tried to mediate, but we're not ready to forgive or trust Lisa again. I'm at a loss. I never thought I'd have to protect my child from family. Timothy is supporting me, but I can see the pain in his eyes. This has torn his family apart. We're considering moving to a new house with better security, but it feels extreme. The past week has been a blur of police reports, family discussions, and sleepless nights. We've changed all our locks and installed a security system. I've taken time off work to stay home with Lily, jumping at every unexpected sound. Timothy has been amazing, balancing his work responsibilities with supporting us at home. Lily, thankfully, seems unaware of the turmoil around her. She continues to play and laugh, bringing moments of joy in the midst of our stress. But I can't help worrying about the long-term effects of this situation. Will she grow up feeling safe and secure? How will we explain this to her when she's older? I find myself constantly replaying every interaction with Lisa, wondering if I missed any warning signs. Should I have spoken up sooner about my discomfort? Did my desire to keep the peace in the family put my daughter at risk? Timothy and I have had long, emotional conversations about what to do next. We both feel betrayed and angry, but we're also grieving the loss of the family dynamic we once had. How do we move forward from here? Can we ever trust Lisa or even Mark again? I'm writing this post because I need advice. Am I overreacting? What should we do to protect Lily while also preserving some semblance of family unity? How do we explain this situation to Lily as she grows up? Any advice or similar experiences would be greatly appreciated. Update 1: It's been 2 weeks since my last post, and I want to thank everyone for their support and advice. Your comments have helped us navigate this difficult situation and made us feel less alone. A lot has happened in these 2 weeks. First, we did go ahead and file for a restraining order against Lisa. The process was emotionally draining, but the judge granted it based on the attempted kidnapping incident. It feels surreal to have legal documentation stating that a family member can't come near us, but it also provides a sense of security we desperately needed. Mark reached out to Timothy a few days after the incident. The conversation was tense and emotional. Mark was distraught and apologetic, revealing information that shed new light on the situation, though it doesn't excuse Lisa's actions. Apparently, Lisa had been struggling with severe depression due to their infertility issues. Mark shared that they had gone through multiple rounds of IVF over the years, each failure taking a toll on Lisa's mental health. The last round, which happened just before we adopted Lily, had been particularly devastating as Lisa had a miscarriage in the second trimester. Mark admitted that Lisa had been seeing a therapist, but he now realizes it wasn't enough. He said Lisa had become fixated on the idea that Lily was the baby they lost, somehow meant to be theirs. It was a delusion she had been nurturing for months, fueled by grief and mental illness. This information has left us with mixed emotions. While it explains Lisa's behavior to some extent, it doesn't erase the fear and betrayal we feel. We're angry that Mark didn't notice or act on Lisa's deteriorating mental state sooner, but we also recognize that he was likely in denial about the severity of the situation. We learned that after the incident, Lisa had a complete mental breakdown. Mark had to admit her to a psychiatric facility for treatment. It's shocking to hear, but it also explains a lot about her recent behavior. Timothy's parents, Robert and Elizabeth, have been incredibly supportive through all of this. They've respected our need for space from Lisa and Mark, while also helping us with practical things like installing a new security system in our house. They've been taking turns staying with us, providing both emotional support and an extra pair of eyes to watch Lily. We decided not to move for now. Instead, we've taken several steps to increase our home security. We've installed cameras around the perimeter of our house, changed all our locks, and hired a new, more experienced babysitter who we've briefed thoroughly about the situation. We've also set up a code word system with Lily's preschool to ensure no one can pick her up without our explicit permission. Lily, thankfully, seems unaffected by all of this. She's too young to understand what happened, and we've been careful to maintain her routine as much as possible. We're also looking into child therapy options, just to make sure there are no lasting effects from the incident that we might not be able to see. Timothy and I have been to couples counseling to help us process everything. It's been helpful in dealing with the stress and fear, as well as the guilt Timothy feels about his family's role in this. We've had to navigate some difficult conversations about trust, family loyalty, and how to move forward. One particularly challenging aspect has been dealing with extended family and friends who don't know the full story. We've had to field well-meaning but painful questions about why Lisa and Mark haven't been around lately, or why we seem so stressed. We've settled on a vague explanation about family issues for now, but it's hard to keep up the facade. We're taking things day by day. The restraining order has given us some peace of mind, but we're still on high alert. Every unexpected noise or car driving by our house sets our hearts racing. We're working on finding a balance between vigilance and not letting fear control our lives. One positive outcome of this ordeal is that it's brought Timothy and me closer together. We've had to present a united front and lean on each other like never before. Our communication has improved, and we've gained a deeper appreciation for our little family unit. We're focusing on creating positive memories with Lily amidst all this stress. We've been having more family game nights, weekend picnics in the park, and impromptu dance parties in the living room. Seeing Lily's carefree smile and hearing her laughter reminds us of what's truly important. As for our relationship with Mark and Lisa, the future remains uncertain. We're not ready to consider forgiveness or reconciliation at this point. Our priority is Lily's safety and our family's well-being. We know we'll eventually have to address this with the rest of the family, but for now, we're taking the time we need to heal and process. We're grateful for the support we've received, both from family and from this community. It's been a challenging time, but it's also shown us how strong we are together. We're taking each day as it comes, focusing on our love for Lily and each other. Thank you all for your advice and kind words. We'll update again if there are any significant developments. Update 2. It's been a month since my last update, and I wanted to share some new developments in our situation. Lisa was released from the psychiatric facility last week. Her doctors say she's made significant progress, but she'll need ongoing outpatient treatment. Mark reached out to us through Timothy's parents, asking if we'd be willing to meet with them and their therapist. This request sparked intense discussions between Timothy and me. We were both apprehensive about the idea of seeing Lisa again, but we also recognized that we couldn't avoid this conversation forever. After much deliberation and consultation with our own therapist, we agreed to a meeting, but only without Lily present. We met at a neutral location, the therapist's office. Walking into that room was one of the hardest things I've ever done. Seeing Lisa again brought back a flood of emotions: fear, anger, betrayal. But I was also struck by how different she looked. The Lisa I remembered was always perfectly put together, but the woman sitting across from us looked tired and fragile. The meeting was intense and emotional. Lisa broke down in tears almost immediately, apologizing profusely for her actions. With the therapist's guidance, she explained that she had been suffering from a condition called delusional misidentification syndrome, specifically a type called delusional pseudo-parenthood. She had convinced herself that Lily was actually her child, a delusion that had grown stronger over time. Lisa shared more about her struggles with infertility and the toll it had taken on her mental health. She talked about the pain of multiple failed IVF attempts and the devastating miscarriage she experienced. While it helped us understand her actions to some degree, it didn't erase the harm she had caused. Mark was supportive of Lisa but also expressed his deep regret for not recognizing the severity of the situation sooner. He admitted that he had been in denial about Lisa's deteriorating mental state, hoping that if he ignored the problem, it would go away. He assured us that he's fully committed to Lisa's recovery and ensuring nothing like this ever happens again. The therapist explained Lisa's treatment plan, which includes medication, individual therapy, and couples counseling for her and Mark. They're also attending support groups for couples dealing with infertility. While we appreciated their honesty and the steps they're taking, Timothy and I made it clear that it would take a long time to rebuild trust, if ever. The fear and betrayal we felt are not easily forgotten. We agreed to consider family therapy sessions in the future, but for now, we're maintaining our distance. We've decided to keep the restraining order in place for the time being. Lisa understood and didn't protest. Her therapist suggested it might actually be helpful for her recovery, providing a clear boundary as she works through her issues. Timothy's parents have been amazing through all of this. They've managed to support both their sons without taking sides or pressuring us to forgive before we're ready. They've also started attending support groups for families dealing with mental health crises, which seems to be helping them cope with the situation. As for us, we're slowly starting to feel more secure in our daily lives. The heightened state of alertness we've been living in for the past few months is gradually easing. We're sleeping better and have started to resume some of our normal activities. Lily continues to thrive, oblivious to the adult drama around her. She's recently started ballet classes and is constantly twirling around the house in her tutu. Her joy and innocence are a constant reminder of why we're fighting so hard to protect our family. We're taking small steps towards healing, but we know it's going to be a long journey. The trust we once had in Mark and Lisa has been shattered, and we're not sure if it can ever be fully repaired. For now, we're focusing on our little family and taking each day as it comes. The experience has made us reflect on our own journey to parenthood and how we can support others who are struggling with infertility. We've started volunteering at a local organization that provides resources and support for couples going through IVF and adoption processes. As we move forward, we're cautiously optimistic. We know there will be more challenges ahead, but we also feel stronger and more united as a family. We're grateful for the support we've received and are committed to creating a safe, loving environment for Lily to grow up in. Update 3. It's been 3 months since my last update, and I wanted to share some final thoughts on this situation. We've maintained minimal contact with Mark and Lisa over these months. They've respected the restraining order and our wishes for space. We receive updates about Lisa's progress through Timothy's parents, who have been wonderful mediators throughout this ordeal. From what we've heard, Lisa has been consistently attending her therapy sessions and taking her medication. She's made significant progress in understanding and managing her mental health issues. Mark has been attending therapy with her and on his own, which we think is a positive step. They've also joined a support group for couples dealing with infertility, which seems to be helping them process their grief and move forward. Timothy and I have had many long discussions about the future of our relationship with his brother and sister-in-law. It's been a difficult and emotional process, weighing our desire for family unity against our need to protect Lily and ourselves. While we appreciate the steps they're taking, we've decided that we're not comfortable having them in Lily's life for the foreseeable future. It's a tough decision, but we feel it's necessary for Lily's safety and our peace of mind. We've communicated this decision to Mark and Lisa through Timothy's parents. They were understandably hurt, but they've said they respect our decision and hope that someday we might reconsider. It's a small comfort, but it helps to know that they understand the gravity of what happened. On a more positive note, we've grown closer as a couple through this experience. Our communication has improved, and we've become even more united in our commitment to protecting and nurturing Lily. We've started having weekly family meetings where we discuss any concerns or issues, no matter how small. It's helped us stay on the same page and feel more in control of our family's direction. We've also formed a stronger support network. We've connected with other adoptive parents in our community, sharing experiences and advice. It's been incredibly helpful to talk to others who understand the unique challenges of adoptive families. We've even started a monthly support group for adoptive families in our area, which has been healing for us and helpful for others. Lily continues to thrive. She's growing into a happy, curious, and loving little girl. Her vocabulary is expanding every day, and she's recently become obsessed with dinosaurs. We've had her evaluated by a child psychologist, who assured us that she shows no signs of trauma from the incident. We're so grateful for that and are doing everything we can to maintain her sense of security and happiness. As for us, we're slowly healing. The fear and anger we felt initially have subsided, replaced by a cautious optimism for our future. We still have moments of anxiety, especially when Lily is out of our sight, but they're becoming less frequent. We're working on finding a balance between vigilance and allowing Lily the freedom to grow and explore. We're planning a family vacation, just the 3 of us, to celebrate Lily's upcoming 4th birthday. It feels good to be looking forward to something positive, to be making plans for the future instead of just reacting to crises. We don't know what the future holds regarding our relationship with Mark and Lisa. For now, we're at peace with our decision to keep our distance. Our priority is and always will be Lily's well-being and happiness. We haven't ruled out the possibility of reconciliation someday, but we know it would require a lot of time, effort, and professional help to rebuild trust. This experience has taught us a lot about the complexities of family relationships, mental health, and the fierce protective instinct of parenthood. It's shown us the importance of setting boundaries, even with family, and the value of seeking professional help when needed. While it's been a difficult journey, we're emerging stronger and more united as a family. We're focusing on the joy Lily brings to our lives and looking forward to all the adventures ahead of us. We're committed to creating a home filled with love, laughter, and security. And while our family might look a little different now than we once imagined, we know that we have everything we need in each other. Your advice and kind words have been a source of strength during our darkest moments. While this will be my last update on this situation, please know that your support has made a real difference in our lives. We're moving forward with hope and gratitude, cherishing every moment with our precious daughter.